I would say the realization that I don't exist would be one that's often an early one that's quite challenging to handle for some people. And this is because only part of the realization has been understood. So when we start to see that I don't exist as a separate person, then the mind can interpret that there is no existence here, or that nothing exists, and that can feel quite scary. And that's not the truth. The truth is that we exist as what you could call awareness, or existence itself. It always exists and is eternal, but you don't exist as a separate person, and that would be the complete realization. But if we only get partial realizations, like I don't exist here as a separate person, although that's true, it's not the full understanding, and so the mind can interpret that in fearful ways. So that can be scary when we first start tapping into there's really not a person here that exists. We can also see that there's no other people here. We might see that visually, that there really are no other people here. That can often be quite scary as well, and quite disorientating when we start to see that. And again, the mind can interpret it as, well, there's nothing here then, that means nothing exists, but that's not true. It's just saying there's no separate people here. That bit is true. With that can collapse the illusion of that we've ever been in love with anyone, that we've ever had a conversation with anyone before, that we've ever had a connection with anyone before. Because once we start to see the reality of what is actually happening here, we start to see all the layers to it like that. And so this can feel painful to notice things like this. It may or may not. It just depends how you're wired, how you will take it. But nothing's changing. It's just showing you what's already true, and it just goes through deeper and deeper layers of realization. And so you may realize, I've never had a conversation with anyone other than myself. It's always just me here. There is only me here. And you might find that fascinating, or you might find that sad. It will just depend. So other challenging realizations might be that there is no control. There's no one in control here. I'm not in control. That can be quite a challenging one to see. And I think we all can see on some level that this is true. We just often hide from this. Life shows us continually that we're not in control. But we really hold on to this one, particularly if we've had a hard life, as a coping strategy to make ourselves feel like life is not chaotic, and that we will be able to get ourselves out of difficult situations. So the losing the illusion of control can be quite challenging to see. It can be challenging to see that there is no purpose or meaning, and purpose, it could be life purpose, is often what brings us to awakening. It's how a lot of us find awakening, and we can be holding on to that very tightly. And then over time, through the awakening process, we're shown that that is also illusory and part of the dream. And so that there's nothing wrong with any of the dream. It's beautiful that we can even believe in separation at all, and all of the things that go along with it. The idea of free will, the idea of control, the idea of relationships, and the idea of purpose and meaning. We see that is also illusory, and that can be quite hard to handle if we are attached to purpose.